Hey everybody, and welcome to this sort of ramble video that I said about in the previous, in the episode, episode 60 of the Hardcore Iron Man Adventures. As you can see, I am going to be crafting in the background because for once I actually do have a little bit of time to myself, and I have a bit of time that I can actually do something like this, which is obviously really AFK, which is obviously one thing that is really good about RuneScape, and I think that's a lot to do with why people come back to this game. Not just purely for the nostalgia, but they can sort of get away sometimes. And I'm guilty of it that I don't speak enough to people, especially like my girlfriend and my mates, especially like David, that you've obviously know in obviously the videos I've uploaded, because I'm always with him when I'm playing RuneScape, really. I've always kind of continuously made different accounts. I think it's just because once it gets to a certain point it gets a little bit boring, and obviously, like I said, the nostalgia and obviously the impact you can have at the beginning feels so much more of the impact you can have late game, so you get a bit tedious of it. Obviously you get a lot more involved when you're getting levels back to back to back, and you just sort of come out of your head, and it's that sort of time that when you do get to come out of your head is actually when the healing starts. Well, that's what you think anyway. It is always great to have an outlet such as RuneScape or Call of Duty or games or doing some sort of hobby. I think a lot of people really struggle sometimes to find that one hobby that's going to help them. And I know I have, especially in the past sort of few months. Since the bingo finished and the videos after I uploaded it took a little bit of time, and I kind of took a step back from RuneScape, and I don't know, I wasn't too happy about just me myself. It wasn't because of bingo. Actually, I really enjoyed the actual bingo event. It was absolutely great. But I got into sort of a point where I wasn't really bothered with playing. I kind of went a little bit into a down mood, and I think this is what people need to start realizing. It's a normal thing to get down. It's not an easy thing to get out of sometimes, but it's not impossible. There's obviously so many people around that you can obviously go chat to sometimes, even on RuneScape. Even though there's a lot of trolling and a lot of flaming on RuneScape, is actually a great community in there as well, especially like in clans. But sort of that's a little bit of a ramble at the start, but I kind of just wanted to speak obviously the past, since obviously the bingo, which was August I think it was, and now it's the 28th of November, which is actually my brother's birthday. After the bingo, and I sort of had a plan of what I wanted to do and stuff like that, I wasn't massively focused. I never wanted to get unbelievably addicted to playing a game like I used to be. Obviously, like everyone is on RuneScape when they first start. Well, when they used to start off back in the day when RuneScape was on Miniclip and stuff like that. Used to be addicted to it every weekend. Just play it. It's just great. Obviously, in real life, when you're an adult, you can't always do that. I think people underestimate how much you can hold in, really, because I think there's a lot that people actually want to talk about sometimes. Not just for men, because I know that's a big thing at the moment, is a lot of saying about, oh, men need to talk, and absolutely yes they do. Like I've learned that, and I do need to speak even more. But it's also everybody else. Like, it's not just men that need to speak; it is everybody. And I think in life things get you down. I think we've got into a habit of looking at social medias and just going, oh, this is my life, oh, look at that person's life and it's great, and it kind of gets a bit overwhelming sometimes, especially I think with like sort of the younger generation when they're coming into it, because social media is just such a big thing. I'm a little bit older, so I kind of I've come away from social media quite a bit, obviously except from YouTube. I still want to be a massive YouTube star one day. The dream's still there. You've got to have a dream, because if you don't have a dream, you never have a dream come true, as they say. But it's little things like that you just got to have a laugh at sometimes. It can't always be just serious all the time, and I think that's where I was getting to. I was getting so serious with my job, where I'm trying to be promoted, and I'm trying to get further in life with obviously just adult stuff like renting, and there's a lot of, especially with the moment with the financial side of things, everybody is in such a difficult state, and it's not like people won't understand. And I think especially for myself, I got into a point of where everything, I thought I was just alone, but I'm not. There are hundreds, thousands of people that are in the same position as you, even if you don't think so. At the end of the day, life isn't perfect, and it never will be, and to expect it to be perfect it's just a vision that's not possible. I think with RuneScape for me, I kind of lost a little bit of interest just because I know there's a lot of skill in stuff, and I kind of sat here doing this sort of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that got caught on top of me, like my work and a lot of stuff at the family life and stuff like that. There's a lot to do with just talking to your friends and family, I think, and I think a lot of people try and hide their emotions from people when they're probably feeling very similar to what you are. And I think we all go through stages of going, oh yeah, I'm really happy, I'm really positive, but then you realise you'll go down to a real low straight after that because you put all your energy and happiness into being really happy and positive, and then you get to a point and you go, oh, now I'm really low again. But you won't be that low, you just feel like you're that low because you were so happy. But you've got to have them low days to have them happy days, which is a great thing to have. I know this kind of hasn't really gone to plan, to be honest. This kind of, it started off as like I was meant to tell you why I haven't really been on RuneScape, which I guess I'm sort of telling you in a roundabout way. It's I think I got into my head a bit too much, and I kind of wanted to be a bit secluded away from everyone. I stopped speaking to my friends, I stopped speaking and going out, I stopped doing a lot of stuff. I just decided to be quiet because that was easier for me instead of actually talking about things that were on my mind. And it's difficult, especially when there's so much stuff going on in the world, especially at the moment, like financially and just all the other crap that's going on. There's so many good people that are doing such good things for other people, but it also can't compare to also what you're feeling. You can't compare yourself to someone else because everyone has different lives at the end of the day. And I think that's where I started realising it, because I started feeling a bit of I started realising that it's not only me, I can't compare myself to someone all the way around the world because my life's completely different to theirs. And absolutely, we're all going to have times where we are low, and we are all going to have different ways of reacting. Some people are great at just sort of putting it away and forgetting about things and sort of putting it to the back of their head, and they'll get over it eventually and they'll be fine. And then there's other people that don't want to do that. They want to talk about it. And there's also other people that are just going to react in completely different ways. Unfortunately for myself, I did just go into my shell a little bit, and I kind of went a bit quiet. I think sometimes there's a point where you start realising that you need to start doing stuff to make yourself happy now, not purely for the future. I think for myself, I was very much worried about what my future holds all the time, constantly worrying and thinking. I can't just settle in one place and be happy with it. I have to be like, oh, what's the next thing? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? And sometimes you just need a break. It's okay to ask. And this was one of the biggest things I started realising years ago, and like many years ago, maybe like a decade, maybe even longer than that. All I ever wanted to do, or all I ever wanted to be, was the best. And like my dad always told me, you'll never be the best. There's always going to be someone bigger and stronger. And it's so true. There's always going to be someone who's more knowledgeable. You'll never be the smartest. You'll never be the strongest. You'll never be the person who every single person is going to like. Not everyone's going to like you. You can try and get everyone to like you, but people don't like people like that. Unfortunately, everybody likes different people. It's one of those things that you just kind of realise, I guess, after a while. But I want to sort of leave it on a happy note. Like for myself, I know that I have spoke about things more and more recently, and I kind of want other people to do it. Like, you don't have to go and talk to the doctor and stuff like that. You can literally speak to your friends. I started speaking to my dad, I spoke to my brother, I spoke to David, I spoke to my girlfriend, I spoke to my mum. There's so many options out there. I think when you really look at it, you may think you're alone, but actually maybe on Discord, even on RuneScape, there's someone who is willing to just have a chat, because you never know what they've been through. And I think that's the biggest thing. People have got through so many things in life, and it's difficult to see. It's difficult to see other people really happy when you're really down, because you want to be like that, and it's not always going to work. But they might know how to help. So maybe start off a conversation with them. Maybe just send your dad, your mum, your mate, your brother, your sister. Send them a message just saying, "Hey, how are you?" and then they'll say, "How are you?" And then just start talking. I think that's such a strong thing to do at the moment. I know in myself, I've listened to so many motivational speeches, and that's helped me through sometimes. It made you sort of, stuff that you already know, you need to sort of hear. Even if it's not someone like right in front of you or just down the end of the phone, just someone that you can hear while you're driving, or someone you can hear while you're playing RuneScape or playing Call of Duty, or just going to the toilet or something, just playing something, just listening to a YouTube short and listening to that one clip of someone telling you something motivational. Sometimes it helps, and you can't rely on motivation all the time because it's not always going to be there. But having that motivation every now and again just to lift you up a little bit, that's sometimes all you need. You just need that little bit of a lift. I guess my ramble has kind of turned into like a little bit of a blabber on about people talking and motivation. But it is important for people to do that. We all get like it, and we all want to be happy. Not just with what we're doing with our actual selves sometimes. We don't always have to be unhappy with what we look like, what we feel like, how things are going for us. We can be down about things, and we can look at improving it. And that's what helps with talking, because you never know, that friend might be able to help you. Your parent might be able to help you in one of the situations that you are feeling down about, and then that's one off your checklist. You know, making lists, that's what I've started doing. On my days off, I'm going, right, this is what I need to do today. Start ticking it off, even if it's something small like making the bed. I literally heard this off another motivational speech as well, like just ticking it off, making the bed. It's a small job, and it's a job you'll probably end up doing, but you've ticked something off. And it feels like you've accomplished something that day. All these things don't need to be difficult. They can be so simple. I'm not actually going for a walk in real life, but I'm going for a walk in RuneScape at the moment. I'm going to go do this birdhouse run and then go do a farm run. But even like going out for a walk, I started doing for a little bit just to get outside, because I think there's a lot of people who, when they work inside all the time, or when they work from home a lot, they struggle to get out of their head even more, purely because they are always facing the same things over and over. When you're in a shop, literally you go in when it's dark, you come out when it's dark. When you're at home, you literally go into the kitchen, make yourself a coffee, you come out, and it's just the same thing you're seeing. You're not moving anywhere, you're not actually getting anywhere. And I think people struggle with that, and I think just going out and having a little walk for half an hour, that will help someone. I know it helped myself. It also helped me start like thinking about things and sort of calming things down, because you start realizing that it isn't just you. There's other people actually walking around, not just people like with dogs who have to go walk their dogs, but there's people around just walking because they feel like they need to walk. So I had like a couple of days off together this time, so I can actually have a bit of time at home, which has been really nice actually. Like, I had a bit of a late night last night, but I've been editing episodes 14, 15 and 16, because I had so much footage backed up from when I was playing a bit, and where I have played a little bit here and there, I backed up so much footage, and obviously I made the video shorter, so it was able to create more videos, which is obviously, it's great. I can get more videos out, which is awesome. But obviously now I've caught up, I haven't really got the videos, I haven't got the footage, because I haven't got the time. It doesn't mean I'm not going to stop making videos completely. Like, at the end of the day, it's there when I'm not going to schedule it all the time. At the moment, I think they're coming out at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Friday. But when I've run out of footage, I'm not going to push myself to be like, oh, I need to be making sure this happens. It's just something that is going to happen. I know I found it hard over the past couple of months, just sort of being aware of what I was doing, just myself, sort of how I was acting with other people. And there's times where you sort of realise you have been ignoring people, or not maybe ignoring, you found there's just more, you feel like you've escaped more if you just don't speak to anyone else, because you've just got your own thoughts to think of, not think of everybody else's. And do you know what, there's probably people who may listen who think they're the sort of people that are always there for people, and like myself, like I would listen to absolutely anyone. I love having a chat, I love having a ramble. As you can see from my previous videos, I've always had a bit of a ramble, and I've spoken a lot about random stuff sometimes, and I love having a conversation because I think it really does help people. But I think sometimes they're the people that kind of need to speak as well, because they're always there helping others and listening to others, but sometimes they may need to actually open their mouth themselves. And where I have done that, I have been feeling a lot more positive recently, which is really I'm really happy with. Like, obviously I'm still going to have my down days, everybody is, but just sort of being a bit more open and being a bit more talkative with people around me, it has helped, because I know that they are there to listen as well. But I hope sort of people sort of get what I was trying to get at, and why I haven't been really on for a while or making videos, because life gets in the way sometimes. We can't always be 24/7 on a game, which I'm sure everyone can understand. They've all got their own, you all got your own lives that you want to do. You can't constantly be grinding, not on crafting or not on fishing, not on mining, you know. You can't always be doing it, because something always gets in the way. What I'm hoping is that you did sort of get where I was trying to get at. I have been obviously a little bit down in the past couple of months, and you know what, I've got better, which has been really nice. And I kind of wanted to put this video out there because I think there are a lot of people that don't realise sometimes that there are people around. There's a lot of people that are willing to listen, not just in this one. Like I said, there's so many different people, not even on RuneScape. There's so many people. There's a lot of people that troll and flame because if that's what they're happy doing, sometimes you just got to learn to live with it, because they ain't ever going to change for no one. But it's what that makes them happy, so you know, you got to just ignore that if it doesn't make you happy. But I hope you guys may have taken a little bit from this. It might seem a little bit silly, sort of. I've not really even got like a big YouTube channel, or I haven't uploaded a stupid amount of videos. I'm not popular or anything like that, but I think for a couple of people that maybe are subscribed, maybe it might help them a little bit. Also, people who have actually asked me when's the next video out, this will give them an understanding of why I haven't uploaded and why there's not really a huge amount of footage. I'm not going to leave any sort of like links in the description to go and talk to people, because everybody knows how to use Google, you know. I know for myself, I found it a lot easier talking to people that I know. Some people might want to speak to a stranger, because I know some people prefer that. But like I said, there's people around in games, in life, even in like a supermarket. But I hope everyone is gonna speak to someone if they need to, and realise there are people around. And I really hope everyone is having a great day and will have a great day. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.